All right, so let's talk about this situation with Bud Crawford and the interviewer. And the interviewer said he's a bigger draw, and Bud Crawford's trying to say he have all the belts. And then they keep going back and forth. He's a bigger draw. He got all the belts. So let's look at this, and you tell me which side do you think Bud Crawford's on? Being a bigger draw or having all the belts? Come on, let's go.
You forgot Devin Haney is undisputed?
He's still trying to get in the fight.
Who undisputed at 135?
Devin Haney isn't. I want to ask you about Devin Haney, too.
So Devin Haney got all the belts. He the champ. Nobody else the champ.
But he's a big draw, though.
Devin is the champ.
But Tank's a big draw.
Oh, yeah, definitely Tank the bigger draw, man.
So you like catching.
So you see, right? Crawford's like, well, Devin got all the belts. So in this era, right, it's about face, not about the waist. It's not about the accolades. It's more about diva, stush shit, putting butts in seat. And, when they call a fighter in the ring and they tell you the accolades, they don't say, well, this man did so many pay-per-views. No, it just tells you about how many divisions he won, how many belts he won, his accomplishments. And never, until that day I hear, well, he sold so-and-so pay-per-views, then I'll be like, oh, okay, well, they counting that in the Hall of Fame. They're not even counting that in the Hall of Fame. This is commercialized stush, diva, your shit don't stink shit. And the way I see it, Tank just stay over there, man. And I don't got no hate for Tank, man. To tell you the truth, I really like how Tank fight, his fighting style. But, and let me give you an example of people stepping on their dick, man. Because this guy here, Knockout, but let me let you listen to what he's saying about what certain fighters are doing. But he don't even see Tank as doing it.
Gary, bro. Right. Gary Russell, he called out I done heard the man call out Terence Crawford. I done heard him call out Tank Davis. I heard him calling for Shakur when Shakur was at 130. I'm hearing him call for Monster anyway right now. Why don't he never just move to the weight class and show that he want the fights, bro?
So you see how he's talking about how Gary Russell, so why don't you move up to the weight class that you keep calling these dudes out? So I gotta remind this dude, man, this bitch ass nigga, that you talking about Gary Russell, he calling out anyway. He's calling out Crawford. He's calling out this. But don't you see your fighter Tank doing it the same way? Right? Don't you see it, or you not seeing it? And this is a perfect example of that word riding. And that's what you do. You riding. And this is proof. You show the imperfections with this fighter doing the same shit that Tank's doing. So let me give you some rundowns, right? Since he run down Gary Russell calling this one and that one out, why don't you just go to the division and stop clout chasing? But let me give you some because casuals are watching and they need to know this. Why is a letter with a long tail, and they need to know why Tank is not calling Devin or Shakur, or since he is the one that puts butts in seat and he's the A side, he don't send the contracts, right? But let's see and give you an example what I mean about what Tank is doing and how he been calling out every minute when a fighter wins a fight. Come on.
You insulted by Tank?
All right, thank you, Keith.
I'm insulted by Leonard Ellaby.
Why?
Tank didn't say nothing. Y'all need to all understand this real quick. Gervonta Davis hasn't said anything. His team said this. Who's Deontay Boxer? Deontay Boxer made some said Deontay Boxer said something. Tank has a response for Thurman. I didn't see his mouth. He's fighting welterweights in the ring. I heard Ellaby said he has a welterweight fight. When they asked me who it was, I said Danny. I wasn't thinking the right mind, but what I meant was Garcia, Mikey Garcia, right? Because the truth is, when lightweights move up, let's just go over history. When lightweights move up, real talk, lightweights fight other lightweights that already moved up into the welterweight division. Lightweights don't just fight welterweights. Adrian Broner fought Paulie Malignaggi. That was not a real welterweight. When he got into the real welterweight mix, he started taking L's. I'm not saying that Gervonta Davis is just going to take L's. He's that kind of fighter. At the end of the day, when you move up in the right way. A lot of people do it. If he has a great fight, a great pay-per-view fight, I think that Mikey Garcia is a great pay-per-view fight. Is that the fight? Do they really want to just go in with Keith Thurman? You know me. That's why I'm calling out Ellaby. Don't play me nanosecond. I've been here for way more than a nanosecond. I've been waiting on the phone call way more than a nanosecond. I don't play games. Give me the contract. Show me the date. Show me the money I'm about to put in the bank, and you're going to see my name signed on the dotted line.
What'd you say? Yeah. Just like Keith Thurman said. He said what Ellaby said, right? About what Tank. But Tank didn't say it, but Ellaby said it. Nah, I know Tank said it. You probably didn't hear it from Tank. But we have patterns of Tank, right? And if you're going to say Ellaby said it, well, this is the same Ellaby that said Tank was just joking about Crawford and moving up and fighting him. Is this the same Ellaby you're talking about? Yeah, is this the same Ellaby you're talking about? When Tank didn't say it, but Ellaby said it. But then all of a sudden, Ellaby said that Tank was just joking. So which one is it? Is it you taking Ellaby's side or Tank's side? Come on, Tank supporters. I mean, not Tank supporters or Tank fans. I mean, Tank D-Riders. Which one is it? Come on, talk to me. So that's one. Let's move on to another scenario. Another one, right? Let's move on.
Watching Bro on the headline pay-per-view right now, do that motivate you to get the pay-per-view?
Yes, because I've been on Adrian when he was just starting, when he was really like the problem. So just seeing him and then he fighting somebody like Pacquiao, it give me hope for sure.
How soon you think that'll happen for you?
I'm aiming for 2021.
Oh, man.
So Tank talking about he's aiming for 2021 to fight Manny Pacquiao. All right. And see, this is the thing I got with this situation, right? Because if it's not about belts and it's about putting butts in seats and stroking the casuals, right, that doesn't know much about boxing, then you should have fought Manny Pacquiao. You know what I'm saying? Because it's about the face, right? And it's about putting butts in seats. That would have been a perfect fight for you, man. You know, Pacquiao wanted to fight you, if I can recall. Yeah, well, let's go back. Let's remember what Blue said about how Manny Pacquiao went. I like to put the receipts, you know what I'm saying? Because like I said, the hardcore boxers, they know, but the casuals, if they tune in, they're going to be like, oh, okay, I see the baseline of the story. I'm putting the puzzles together. So this ain't just for the hardcore. Do you want more? Right? This is for the casuals, right? Because these bigger channels, they have propaganda and they know how to flip it. And we ain't trying to do it over here. We're trying to get all the information right. So let's see what Blue had to say about Manny Pacquiao wanted to fight Tank Davis when Tank Davis said this.
With that said, Manny Pacquiao was asked about undefeated 3-division world champion, superstar boxer, who simultaneously held the WBA super title at super featherweight, WBA regular title at lightweight, WBA regular title at junior welterweight, superstar boxer Gervonta Tank Davis. Gervonta Tank Davis is now 28 wins, no losses, no draws, 26 big wins by way of knockout. He is 28 years of age, 5'5" with a 67-inch arm reach, and he too is a southpaw. Gervonta Tank Davis looks to somewhat follow in the footsteps of the legend and Manny Pacquiao. Okay, they both 5'5", they both have a 67-inch arm reach, they both southpaws, and they both have explosive left hands. Okay, so Manny Pacquiao was asked about Gervonta Tank Davis. He just stated that he's a good fighter. This was in a Filipino website talk show or interview he was doing, and he stated that, you know, he would fight Gervonta Tank Davis. Asked somebody, would you fight him? He said, yeah, you know, but he said that he wanted to fight, you know, Terence Crawford and Errol Spence, okay? And that got me to question and to wonder, okay, it begged the question for me, who would win between Manny Pacquiao and Gervonta Tank Davis if they were actually to face off against one another? Now, Manny Pacquiao, he campaigns at welterweight, 147 pounds. Gervonta Tank Davis is campaigning at 135 pounds. So they're two divisions apart, but they're similar in size. Manny Pacquiao is not the biggest guy, and for a long time, well-renowned Hall of Fame trainer Freddie Roach was saying that Manny Pacquiao could actually fight at 140 if he wanted to. But Manny Pacquiao has been a long time now fighting at 147. I don't know if his body at 44 years of age can get down to 135 or catch weight at 140, right?
But I'm asking, what happened to that? Because it's about the face of boxing. Manny Pacquiao got a whole country behind him. You know, and you know the saying, high risk, low reward? Well, it's high risk with Manny and high reward. And the way I see it, I see Ellaby talking for Tank, talking about, oh, he was just joking for Crawford. So don't tell me that Tank is signed to Showtime Espinosa while Ellaby's still talking for Tank, okay? I don't care. He's with the PBC or Showtime. He's still acting like he's on Floyd's time. And that's the way I see it. Because, like I said, high risk, high reward. The reward is there. So what's the problem? It's about money, ain't it? It's about money, isn't it? So you're gonna get no small change with Manny Pacquiao. Okay, I can see this being bigger than Ryan and Tank. I can see this might be being bigger than McGregor and Floyd. Yeah, I can see this being bigger than McGregor in pay-per-views if we're gonna talk that money, right? So this will be a super fight. But see, it's too high of a risk to take that part of that high reward. So that's why I know this is all a joke, yo. This is all a mother effing joke when it comes to talking about, it's all about butts and seats in the face of boxing. You try to, the Canelo, you put it on, it was Floyd, Canelo, and now we trying to work on Tank with this bullshit, man. We're trying to work with Tank with this bullshit. But if it was much of about the face of boxing and all about the pay-per-views, and you want to be the king, you want to be the emperor of making high rewards, you should be fighting Manny Pacquiao. After you say you wanted to fight Manny Pacquiao. So what's up? Oh, so it's not just about the money. It's about losing. It's about letting your all go. Yeah, I see. And this man, Tank, should have nothing. Because like I said, when it came to Crawford talking about Devin Haney, he has the belts. And this other dude saying, well, he's a bigger draw. Tank is a bigger draw. And they're going back and forth. And Crawford's like, come on, man. What are we talking here, man? What are we doing here with this generation, man? Like, I could see his hands went up and then went back down. Like, it is what it is, man. And the way I see it, Tank, if you're going to be, if I just feel like all these boxers over here, right? Just leave this nigga alone, man. Just leave Tank alone, man. Let him do his own shit, bro. Let him pick and choose whatever he wants in the house with Mayweather. Because all I can see is either Isaac Cruz, right? Or I can see him fighting Rolly Romero at 140. Because he fought at 140 before with Barrios. So I'm saying, I thought it was about being great. Anyway, it's great. He went up, didn't even do what Keith Thurman's talking about, moving up and fight somebody else that's moving up to get accoladed to the weight. No, he moved up and fought Stephen Fulton and took his unified belts. Took those belts, right? But Tank, what are you doing? Tell me, what are you doing? Are you going to stay at 135 for the rest of your life? Or are you going to pick and choose when to fight a fighter at 140 or fight a fighter that's at 140 to bring him down to 135? I'm just trying to figure this shit out with you. Because to me, it's all drama and confusion on that side, man. So let's do a little more example of a D rider for Tank and how he feels about, well, let's just get into it, man.
Canelo at 168 pounds. Or if Charlo wins, he'll fight him at 168 pounds. Because he want to be 3-time undisputed, going up 3 weight classes. That's going to put him with the all-time greats. I'm convinced he must watch my show the other day. We did a live stream on Wednesday and we said just that, bro. We were like, look, man, this catch weight opportunity shit. You know what I'm saying? This always needing the advantage. You telling Canelo to come down to you and you the clear B-side. You telling Tank to come all the way up to you and you the B-side against him, all that shit, bro. Ain't nobody trying to hear that shit, man. You an opportunist, you a front runner, and you always looking for advantages. I'm convinced he watched my live stream with one of his little minions and watched my live stream and went back and reported to him. So the very next interview, he changing his tune. Now he'll fight Canelo at 168 pounds. Okay. Well, I know Jermell Charlo is really moving up to do it. So if you...
So this man says Crawford is an opportunist. I can't say my words properly. You know what I'm trying to say. Opportunist and a front runner. And, catch weights and, bro, you're talking about Tank. How many catch weights do you hear Crawford talking about? How many times do you hear Crawford clout chasing? He fight who's he supposed to fight. Simple as that. If he say he's gonna fight this person, he's gonna fight him, right? So, and then you're gonna say the narcissistic thing about Crawford or one of his ninjas must have heard my video, and Crawford changed his mind. You hear that narcissistic shit, right? You hear that narcissistic shit, right? So this dude's talking about somebody listened to his video, so Crawford changed his mind, man. No. The only reason why Crawford changed his mind is because Canelo said, I could only fight him at 168. And everybody has a right to change their mind. Like right now. Knockout, you a bitch ass nigga. Now watch this. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I changed my mind. You're a fuckboy. Wait a minute. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You're both of them. See how I changed my mind? Right? I had a reason to change my mind. Because at once I thought you was a bitch boy. Now you're a fuck boy. Now you're both. Just like that. Right? So if Canelo comes back and says something, Crawford's like, what? Alright. Forget the catch weight. I want to be 3-time undisputed. That's what he wanted with Charlo. So if Charlo is not the one and Canelo is, he has every right to change his mind because he's doing greatness, man. He's doing greatness. Anyway's doing greatness. I don't see Tank doing nothing but staying at 135. I don't see him chasing greatness. I see him chasing the dollar bill, but he's also half-stepping with the dollar bill, yo. He also half-stepping with the dollar bill because if he was about that, when Manny Pacquiao said, let's do this, what happened? Nothing, right? So, this thing with Crawford, talking about Crawford, you're telling me, this is what you're telling your supporters, Tank fans, and Tank D-Riders. This is what you tell them. That Crawford, just like that dude at the interview said to Crawford, he puts butts in seats. He's the favorite. And Crawford's like, but Devin Haney's the undisputed champion. Right? Right? But since we're in this background bizarre world where the ones that put butts in seat, see, this is the problem. But let's do a little bit more. Let's do a little bit more before I get into it.
The KO. I thought belts don't matter. Well, L-Dub, people couldn't keep up. Okay? I was too far ahead of my time. So when I say belts don't matter and I start explaining what I mean by it and why I'm saying what I'm saying, all people would say, well, you said belts don't matter. All the 100,000, million, zillion, billion reasons I gave how we could get them to matter, what we can do to make them matter the way that they should, that shit I lost them, bro. I lost them. So I say this now, L-Dub, I still have the same points, and I still believe that they watered down like a motherfucker. So they don't matter like they should. Because of all the corruption and politics and all that shit, I've said it many times. I ain't gonna repeat it out here and make all the points again. But I don't say that they don't matter because I lose y'all, bro. And I lost y'all a long time.
Yeah, you losing people because how you present it. That's how you present it. You know, belts matter and belts don't matter. It's a gray area to this. Rolly Romero, this nigga Rolly got a belt. Do it matter? No. All right. You know when it really means that belts don't matter? When you're Mike Tyson, Roy Jones, Mayweather, Manny Pacquiao. That's when belts don't matter. That's when you pass the belts. You're over it. But belts do matter to Clarissa Shields. Belts do matter to Devin Haney. Belts do matter to Mayweather. If you hear Mayweather, he at the end of the day, he's not just talking about how much money he makes. He got to talk about his accomplishments, how many title fights he had. You got to see all this shit. So the belts do matter. So I don't even know the discussion of you trying to say that belts don't matter and then get mad when people can't catch up to the way you mean it. Because actually, when you say belts don't matter, you're talking about when it comes to who pays. Who pays? Who's the one that put butts in seats? All right? And we know that. So you try to wishy-wash and play these games. Because at the end of the day, it sounded like you was telling, if you listen to it, you're like, oh, Crawford is telling Tank that he got to move up. Yeah, well, yeah, he is the 2-time undisputed champion. First of all, at welterweight, there was not an undisputed champion with the 4 weight and the 5 belts. It's the ring belt, all right? So, and that has so much, his accomplishments don't matter to you. You see what I'm saying, Knockout? His accomplishments don't matter to you because Tank is the face of boxing, and he matters. So you're trying to say that. See, that's how you're confusing people. And you're getting lost. Because one minute you're saying, oh, it's watered down. Yes, we all know that, nigga. Like you was trying to talk about the jab matters. If you see one of my videos. Nigga, of course I know the jab matters. But you was talking about Spence's jab. You wasn't talking about Crawford's jab, right? But you say the jab, fucking the jab matters, right? But the same thing with the belts. Belts do matter at one time, and it don't. When you coming up, belts matter. Medals, accomplishments, all that shit matters. Not just, oh, I am the favorite. Because if that's the case, this is how we're going to water down the sport. We don't need real boxers. We need actors. We need football players, UFC players, getting in the ring, right? People like Jake Paul, Logan Paul, that likes boxing, you know, they try to be a boxer or whatever. That's what we need. A celebrity boxing. So now we don't have to worry about casuals not knowing who this dude is, right? He's a boxer. We have a chopper, right? We don't have to worry about all that. And knowing that this one, oh, he's with Floyd, and Floyd represent him, and he's the face of boxing. We don't have to worry about none of that. We could just go by who we know, put them in the ring, and let them bust each other down, and then we could get pay-per-views and all these views that we want.
You fucking lying.
That's all we need. We don't need the boxers. And that's why I said I don't believe in that the face of boxing. That stush diva shit. And that's why at one time I'm like, damn, I hope Charlo beat Canelo. Because if Charlo beat Canelo, Charlo did run his mouth and say, no matter what, I'm going to go back down and fight Crawford. But then I'm thinking, you know what? I changed my mind, right? It's either Canelo wins or Crawford wins. I don't think Charlo will come back down and fight Crawford. He won't. I don't think he would. That's my opinion. I could be wrong, right? I could be wrong, but I think that. But the one thing is that Crawford said, listen, man, I'm going to do whatever it takes to be 3-time undisputed. And if I have to go up to 168 to get those belts, I'm going to get those belts. Simple as that. And that's what it's going to be, man. That's going to be. So I don't really care 2 shits. I don't really give you 2 shits about Knockout saying, oh, you know, we can't catch up with him because, you know, the belts are watered. No. That's not what you mean, that the belts are watered down. We know what you mean. You mean that the faces boxing is more important. It's what you say. It's not what you mean. It's what you're saying. You know, when you ask somebody, you tell somebody, yo, don't do that. And they say, I know. Yeah, you know it, but you ain't doing it. It's the same thing. You know what you're not supposed to do, but you're still doing it. Well, you know it, but your actions say something different. So your actions is that it's all about the face of boxing, and it's more than the belts. That's what it is. And you're saying that right now about Crawford because Crawford is 2-time undisputed, with 3-time lineal, 40-0, massive knockouts, right? He's the pound for pound, right? But you telling this man that Tank shouldn't come up to fight him. Anyway, did it. Charlo's doing it. He's going up to fight Canelo. Manny Pacquiao did it. So who's really the one that's faking the funk and pumping fake all that funk coming out here? I'm smelling that shit and it's stinking. Who's the one? Yeah. All right, I'm done for the day. It's getting dark and shit. I gotta go eat. But think about it. Think about this face of boxing shit because At the end of the day, it's just a boxing ring. We could put anybody in there and get pay-per-view buys if you want to make it a face of boxing. All right? And you're not giving people that we don't know. Well, I don't know Devin. I don't know So-So. I don't know his character. I don't know his charisma. And that's the same thing they was doing with Crawford. Same thing he was doing with Crawford. But guess what? He's got the fame now. And he got the ability. And he also has the credentials. Okay? Something that Tank Davis don't have. What are you doing? Who have you fought? Right? And hey, like I said, you stay over there sober. Stay over there and keep fighting whoever you want. Because guess what? If you're a celebrity fighter, you can fight anybody and make the money. Well, that's all it's going to be in your history books. The money. That's it. Because you ain't fighting no Devin. You fighting no Shakur. So it's easy. It's easy work. Just like Floyd say, easy work. I'm not here to change your mind. I'm here for you to read between the lines. It's not what they say. It's what they're not saying. And I'm out, yo. To another one. Oh, share, like, and subscribe. I'm out.